How long? I'm supposed to talk for 10 minutes? 10 whole damn minutes? Okay. All right. Animal Crossing, your island, your mind. This is a talk that I put together today, right before this whole event. What the hell? What is this? Animal Crossing is a video game franchise that started in 2001, released originally for the Nintendo 64 and then later GameCube, and then it released Wild World in 2005 for the DS, City Folk in 2008 for the Wii, and New Leaf in 2012 for the 3DS, and I have played none of these. I didn't know what any of this was until this year, March 20th, 2020, Animal Crossing, New Horizons, and now I know too much. It, within the first 6 weeks, sold over 13 million units, which is over the, what was it, lifetime total of like 2 prior games. It's been a huge thing. How does this game work? Well, you start on an undeveloped island with 2 villagers and this asshole Tanuki named Tom Nook, who has invented a currency with which you must repay him for all the things that you want to do on this island. So you do that by catching and selling bugs and fish. You upgrade your tent to a house, and your house to a bigger house with more storage. You open a store, you open a museum, you build a little town, you populate it with up to like 10 anthropomorphic little animal villagers. And why would you do this? If this had been the first topic y'all chose on Twitter, I would go into why you all have to do all these things, but it's not. But the main reason why I personally got this game was so I could see my friends and interact with them in an environment that isn't just another video call. And if this was the second topic, I'd be discussing how this game provides a social outlet for people trapped in their homes, but you chose the third topic. So we're going to talk about how your island is an extension of your mind and yourself. Before we continue, I'd just like to note I am not a trained professional in this field. It's just that after 6 months and 900 hours playing this game, I really wanted to read a paper on this topic, but none were available. So you're going to get me and this talk about my amateur observations instead. So we're going to start, of course, with my island, because that's only fair. It's my island map. My house is this pink one over here. I wanted to corral all my villagers into a designated downtown area and keep the rest of my island pure wilderness, because why else do you move to a deserted island? Things went wrong. This is about 90% of my island now. It's all flowers. Do you need flowers? Let me know. Why do I have so many flowers? I'm a hoarder. I keep everything. I don't throw anything away in case it's useful for someone else. I'm a gremlin. I keep my crafting materials outside because I'm out of storage space in my house. And this is the only place where I maintain any sort of aesthetic, which is my bamboo garden, and everything else is a hot mess, and we're not even going into my house. So I made up this chart. It's how I see myself in relation to how I play this game. So we can go over what this all means. Okay. These are the social axes. Jet Set Rodeo, it's how much you interact with other players. You're a frequent flyer or a host. You visit pretty much anyone. You go to you frequent the forums and Facebook groups. You use external tools to keep track of all the stuff on your island. On the other end of this is the solitary refinement, where you are mostly a solo player. You rarely visit or host anything. You have a relatively small social circle and you stay in the game. You don't use any of this extra stuff. You don't go to turnip exchange to sell your turnips. On the other end, wow, this didn't work. The other axis is the aesthetic axis, how much thought and care you put into molding your island into an extension of yourself. The meticulous visionary has complete control, wants to pick all the villagers, move all the rocks, has very intentional aesthetic that they put all across their whole island. The Zen gremlin accepts randomness, leaves things where they are, there's no explicit goals, there's just stuff everywhere. That's me. And we're gonna look at some other islands now, because I'm at 5 minutes. So this is Z's Island, New Zealand. Here's a dream address if you want. Z's Island has a welcome pathway that's lined with some Hello t-shirts. She also has a little category area where you can pick up stuff and drop it, add it to your catalog from the shop. She also has a free stuff area, which is smaller than mine, but it's also overflowing. So it feels very similar to mine. And there's an AFK chair. A lot of players have this to kind of mark a spot where they're at so that people don't just kind of stand there. There's also this beach at the back of the island where you go to visit the sketchy fox who sells you fake art. And a lot of people have made these like cool, accessible places to get to it, because otherwise you would need to like climb down with a ladder, and that's what I ended up doing. This is a orchard. This is an loose formation with some like markings to make sure that once the trees have been shaken of their fruit, you know what kind of tree they are. What I've noticed visiting a lot of people's islands is that people have different approaches to maintaining like fruit trees and stuff like that. And this is the one approach. Here is a rock garden that has not been filled with rocks yet, because when you start the process, it involves covering the rest of your island with pathways or other things that prevent rocks from spawning there. And since you only get one rock spawn per day, it's a pretty long process, and sometimes you make mistakes. Next up, here is a very meticulous visionary island. It is Kokomo from Jen. Resident homes are spaced out all over. Downtown area is highly developed. There's waterfalls everywhere. It's gorgeous. I love it very much. Welcome to Kokomo. Here is a pathway. Here is the museum with this amazing like grand staircase entrance that I want to do, but also I don't know how. And here's a complete rock garden that I think took like a long time. Here's Jen's house with cute little garden path and like lights and stuff. And here's Jen's orchard, where it's alphabetical by fruit name, and also like in a neat little grid. So it's very ordered. And the campsite. And you may notice that all the flowers on Kokomo are all white, except for the orange ones around her house. And there's no bamboo anywhere. This is an island of a gremlin who has also been like mostly doing things on their own. Gracias. There is a free stuff zone. It's not out of order like mine is. Here's their beach. And the museum walkway with waterfalls behind it looks real nice. And each resident has like a little patio area to kind of personalize it. Now we are going to go to, I think this is Zenobia, friend Lenny, who has placed, Lenny has built this very elaborate backstory that involves the Yakuza and a wrestling promotion. And he's written up these news bulletins on our Slack channel and gives regular updates on everything, and has made the effort to track down specific villagers to fill out his wrestling roster. And while I was visiting last night, Ribbit asked if I did jujitsu. So it's all very highly thematic and really great. Here is his Yakuza hideout. There's a bunch of different floor tiles. It's larger than his house, and it's great. And his trees are kind of just in this area. There's no real, like, there's no markings, there's no signage. They're just there. And here's a wrestling ring that is the main attraction for all of his wrestling. And the museum kind of like stands on its own little plinth here. And now we look at more gremlins. I think this is spare cats. So this stands out because this is a shared island with two friends of mine who are married to each other. And so they're both employed by Big Mouse, and it kind of shows. They're very good with the lighting. This is their orchard where there's 4 quadrants of non-native fruits. It surrounds a water feature with like a lunar lander. The museum has like a full plaza of its own. Here is their beach, which has like a beautiful, like a large approach and everything. And there's a moon. And they also have a kind of space where you can pick free things up. Take it all. And some flamingos who are waiting for a pizza. And I have hit 10 minutes. This is my island name, my player name, and my switch code. And you can find my island stuff on a Twitter account because that's how trash I am.